Does the experience living in Ghana match the hype, Diallo? Like, does it really, and does it compare to, um, does the hype compare to what people are actually experiencing?
A lot of times, what we see on Instagram, what we see on Facebook are the bright sides, right? So you see the colorful pictures in a nice frame, put your phone on portrait and take the picture. You see people taking pictures with all the colorful fruits in the market, with this, with that, with that. And that is the beauty of Africa. And I do understand the importance of this because there's a movement that specifically shows this parts of Africa. And that is to counter the popular media for decades and centuries that's only talked about Africa as this savage jungle place. So it's like we have to show that Africa is modern, but when you get there on the ground, there are some very real things that you will learn and that you will need to know. Your Cash App is not going to work over here. Emergency medical care is fairly new in Ghana. That's fairly new. You're not going to see a lot of ambulances. So if you plan to move over here, the first thing you might want to know is you're going to be responsible for saving yourself. And then the second thing you might want to do is figure out what does putting together an emergency medical care plan look like for me and my family. When you start dealing with currency and how you deal with the banks, when you start talking about buying land and building a house. And then people all over the world, there are dishonest people all over the world. And sometimes if you're really clouded with this romantic relationship and you're so happy to be home and not be sharp, right? And you just might be taking anybody's word for, oh no, this guy said he's my brother. He said, just give him my wallet and he's going to come back and show me the gold mine. Right. And now you hear you ain't got no passport. You looking and somebody's off. So it's very real. It's a very real experience. And because of who we are and because of the divide that was intentionally attempted to be created between what we call plain Africans, that's those of us who, and then boat Africans, those of us who came over during the transatlantic slave trade, and how we kind of look at each other and, oh, them Africans don't like me, or them Black Americans don't like all of that stuff is just nonsense, really. And since we talk about DNA, Gina, you're going to appreciate this, right? We all heard of CPT. Do we all know what CPT is? Color people's time, right? Well, guess what? Color people's time is in our DNA because APT is about 2 hours later than CPT. No place is perfect. Every place has its challenges. Depends on why you're going and what you're looking for. Thank you. So we have a chapter in the book called Knowing Your Why, right? Discovering your why. And what we say is your why should be bigger than anything else. So when you run up against a wall, when you run up against a service that's not working, when you just run up against different challenges, you got to remember your why. Why are you there? And that why that you've worked out before you've repatriated is going to help you get through it. If like you have to know your why and be very real with yourself, even with things that you think are trivial, right? So you think because you move into Africa, certain things might not matter, but after 6 weeks you start missing that Chick Fila. You need to be honest with yourself before you repatriate, and it's okay.